Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
Say something, Dennis.
I am now, yes.
Can you say something now?
I can hear you guys really well.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you up in Denver?
Yes, I am.
I'm down here at the town hall again.
What's that?
I said, I'm down here at the town hall again.
Good. You're the anchor.
What you need to do is if people try to join, it'll say admit.
All right. Okay.
I don't know if anyone else, would you,
Thanks.
and not saying it doesn't work, you have to use this.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks. What kind of documents do you have, Dennis?
You know, I do not have anything that's been updated since the last stuff we had gotten at the last meeting.
Okay.
I don't think there was anything. I have the copy of the old copy of the current budget, and which I used long ago to make some notes for myself and actually start on the expense side of the 2025.
All right.
And but not revenue. I have some stuff that you don't have, which isn't too much, but it's the part of the agenda for the next Public Works Committee meeting, which has some numbers in it for projects for next year.
All right.
And I think that's pretty much it.
So I'm gonna have a list here that says new items. And I've already got 7 things to put on it, which is bridge repair. At least to not forget them. The Right Here app. And then Ariel just gave me a list of 5 more things.
Is that the email that I had sent to her a while ago?
I do not know of what you're talking.
I had sent Ariel and the mayor an email that had the stuff for the agenda.
For today's agenda?
No, for the future, which hasn't been determined yet, Public Works meeting.
All right.
And I guess since this is a public meeting, I can send it to you as well.
Yes.
Hi Dennis,
Hello.
did you see the email that I just sent you?
No, I'm right now trying to send Adam a list of projects. Without sending them to everyone else. Is Ariel there?
She's in the office.
Okay, with a little luck.
But you're suggesting we start with expenses versus revenue?
No, I'm not suggesting that. It's only because I was unsure about a lot of the stuff on the revenue side that I didn't touch it. And being more familiar with the expense side, I was more comfortable.
Alright, I don't think there's a problem with starting with the expenses.
Okay, let me know if you get what I just sent you.
I haven't got it yet.
I just sent it.
Oh.
Forgot?
I think Dana was probably undecided.
Oh, okay. Warren, I'm surprised.
I'm
Warren,
really surprised Warren's not here.
because didn't he double check the time, place, date?
Well, I don't know what I did wrong, but my phone won't send it.
How many items are on that list?
There is I'll just announce what they are. Project sanitary sewer extension, which I had for 614,000. I'm not sure if that 14 is correct. I had a list for the pump house electrical component upgrades that totaled with a cost contingency reserve of $5,500. It came to a total of 65,500. I had the paving of the gravel parking areas in town center. A little bit of an explanation as to why I put it in there after talking with some of the property owners. That now should be looked at differently, I think, because that project has ballooned because of the drainage problems people are having into something much, much more. And then I had number 4 is the Cottonwood Bridge repairs design / engineering cost contingency reserve just for the design of 35,000, design of the repairs. Cemetery expansion cost contingency reserve of 20,000. Firewise multi-year project. I'm not sure about those dollar amounts, and those were the six items I had for the upcoming, whenever that's going to be, Public Works Committee meeting. And then there were some things about we were going to discuss that may or may not have something to do with the budget, but we haven't even really talked about them yet. So
Okay.
I hope that helps.
All right.
If you need some estimates on if there was a total replacement on that bridge, I don't know if that's necessary at this point, but maybe just good to know. One of the earlier estimates was about 1.2 million.
Okay. Has anyone here taken a class on what the very first step for creating a budget is?
No, just anything I know is just experience.
All right. So based on your experience, where would you start?
Well, in my past experience, it did start with the expense side. The accounting department wasn't just one person, it was a department, had supplied the revenue for
Okay.
whatever the expenses were. And I'd have to say there, I don't want to say there wasn't a limit, but the limits seem to be more not on projects or maintenance needs like rock salt, calcium chloride, equipment. The limit always seemed to be on the labor side,
Okay,
which was taken care of more by the alderman and which would have been the mayor and the alderman.
all right. So we have 11 kind of projects or new expenses on this list that I just wrote out. And they might, Warren just showed up, so I'm gonna start over just a little bit.
You wanna,
Hi, Warren.
that works?
So all we've done so far is develop this crude list of 11 possible new items or carryover items. And then we just started to have a conversation about if anybody's ever taken a class on what the first step for creating a municipal budget is. And then Dennis said in his experience, starting with expenses is can be effective. So then I was just saying that because of these 11 new things, some of them are grants, some of them are new projects, some of them might fall into IT or furnishings or things like that. So we'll have to try to keep this in mind as we go through expenses. And the one thing I would say about expenses is what I have in front of me that I'm gonna kind of be working off of is a sheet that has our 2024 approved budget and our 2024 amended budget. So I'm not looking back at 23 or 22 here, which I think there could certainly be some value in looking back at those past numbers. But I'm happy to start on the very first expense line item of this worksheet, which is probably, is that what you had there?
You had,
We all.
oh, yeah, we all have that now, right, I had this one,
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
your preliminary from before, right?
The draft of the 24 amendment, is that what you're talking about?
It says 1024, and.
Yeah, I don't know, when was it?
There was another one I had.
Well, it says 1205, so yeah, this is
No,
the
there's another one. Is that the one?
budget, yeah, it's.
That's the
looks like it's-
2024 budget?
No, there was a supplemental one you put out a few weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the draft that we're gonna have a public hearing about.
Yeah, I had 19 things on that I was questioning,
Well, we're not doing that today,
okay? I'll put that aside then.
but you can use that as any sort of reference if you
No,
like.
I'm gonna go back to this, what you've got, I will follow along with you.
All right. Does anybody have any objection to starting on, does Dennis got this email to him?
yes, I did.
Does anybody have any objection to starting on line 6100 or 61,000? Which is the first expense? Does that seem logical, Warren?
That's fine,
Dennis?
Yeah, that's good.
All right,
I want to make sure I've got the right document that you have. 61,
So I just sent it,
61, 61,000.
yeah,
so I just sent it today, just like 15 minutes ago, so that's the version I'm talking about, but it's the same thing, I just
Okay.
tweaked it, put a notes column on this one, so. if you
Well, as
have
we
one-
go along, when we get to those tweaks, let me know. And then in other words, everything should be pretty much the same.
okay, well, it's starting right off the bat with employee wages, which is gonna be a thing, so I'll just have a little worksheet here for employee wages. And currently, I think we're paying, we've discussed the clerk being at 55K based on that overtime conversation. And who else are we gonna have? Treasurer? we're gonna have
Trustees,
clerk's aid, that's in a separate line item. Clerk's aid or office aid. We're gonna have code enforcer. Is there anyone else? On
Us.
Hey, no, that's a separate line item.
That's the next line down.
That's 61102, we're on 61101.
okay,
Any other employees come to mind?
No, there's just Brent and or, yeah.
Would you be in the
Everything else,
public
she's in a
works?
separate section.
Who, the judge?
Yeah. she
Yeah,
usually is.
yeah, she'll be
Yes.
separate.
Yeah.
All right, I might, just for fun, write in part-time assistant. And if the clerk's gonna be at 50K, and let's just say the treasurer was to get a raise. Everything right now is open-ended and hypothetical in our conversation, but how many hours are you working now?
Let's say 35 a week,
Hours?
yes, 35, 35.
So maybe that would go down to
Oh.
30.
30 is more than probably what.
And let's just say times 20, I'm gonna overshoot everything for a minute, 28. That's 840 times 4, it's 3360 times 12. So let's just say 40K for treasurer.
Are there,
I'm just having a worksheet to develop employee wages, hypotheticals.
are your tax expenses on the?
We're gonna have to add that to each
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, okay,
So that, yeah, gross, and then.
good.
payrolls and-
Clerk's aid is right now 28 hours a week. I think,
Yes.
so let's just say 30 times, and let's say that person gets $20 an hour, 600 times 4 is 2,400 times 12 is 29,000. Code enforcer is hardly doing anything, right? So what, 5 hours a week? 20 hours a
Yeah.
month times, let's just say 25, 500 times 12, 6,000 a year. And since that's a lot of numbers, maybe we should leave out part-time assistant.
Who's the part-time
I
assistant?
don't know, somebody's gonna ask for help.
Or not.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm open to whatever you wanna do. I'll fight you on another day.
All right,
How's that?
sounds great. Let's put in, this is per year, right?
Yeah,
So let's put in 10,000 for people we don't know that we're gonna end up needing. For help in the office. And everybody's basically taxed the same, so that would be 55 plus 40 plus 29 plus 16 equals a total of 140,000. And is that gonna be times, what do we do, 15%, 20% per employee costs?
for, here for 13. What's it, it's
In this,
like 7%, right? It's 30,
in
the
this,
employees pay half, the employer pays half, and it used to be 13.2. I
Okay,
don't know what the new rates are.
isn't this what we're talking about, payroll expenses?
Yeah.
So 13,270, that's reflective of, however, this 2024 budget, I noticed that we didn't modify, and although our payroll went up,
okay.
so.
So is the structure of payroll that the town pays half of the 13%, so 7%? And then, we're not adding in insurance costs here, we'll do that in a separate line item. And really, when you have employee wages in line 61101, is that including the 7% withholdings? Or is that gonna be,
No, these are gross numbers, right?
That's my assumption, yes.
Yeah,
And
so where is the line item for withholdings?
So
So,
you should be way back.
yeah, it's down here still, the one I was showing you. payroll expenses.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about.
All right, great. So for this line item, we could write in 140K.
Yeah.
All right,
I put in 160.
sounds great. 160,000 for lots of different unknowns and potentials.
Yes,
Okay. Trustee wages, are we gonna triple our,
You can't,
I know, we can't do anything.
Why?
can't raise your salary as a trustee until, so you could raise it now, but it doesn't go into effect until the next election for those people.
All right, so we'll have that at basically 10,000 again,
Yeah.
the old 92 cents an hour. All right, employee benefits. Right now we have a health stipend and pay dental.
So you've got 14,500, and that just keep that, right?
I put in 6,000. So it's less than half. I don't know why.
I wouldn't lower it under 14.5, but I don't know what the legalities are around having people that work almost 40 hours a week and not receive health insurance.
I don't think there's any mandate.
Yeah, and Warren, I'm really looking to you to scrutinize shit like that, because you're always scrutinizing shit like that. So you don't know the law that makes that illegal. We're not required to pay.
Yeah, I don't think you're required to pay health insurance. If there's something that requires you to pay health insurance. You took it out in your personnel handbook. Right?
And replaced it with the health stipend to be determined by the board.
Yeah.
All right, 14,500, keep it as is.
Yeah.
Workers' comp. Is that 20,000 based on number of employees and
That came up yesterday.
wages? I don't remember that. Oh, yeah, it was $1,000.
Yeah, it's yes, we spend $1,000 a month. So,
But if we started paying people more, that doesn't affect it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it does affect it.
It's based on the payroll. So there's the classification for what they do,
Mhm,
so you wanna make sure they're in the right classification,
mhm.
and then there's the amount they get paid.
Okay, so I think according to the bill we got yesterday, which was 1,000 or 1,100, that we're closer to 12,000 this year.
Make it 15,
Well, I would have said 20, but 15 sounds fine, if that seems reasonable. I guess what I'm getting at is if people get paid more, that's gonna go up, yeah?
probably by not that much.
Okay, 15K on 61104. Professional
15?
service. Yeah, 15. So attorney, he just billed us 3750. We were paying him 5,400. I think we were paying Gene 3 or 4. Do you remember?
You're paying Gene,
Either 3 or 4.
I'm not remembering.
Okay, well, I think that
I thought you were paying them like 20,000, but that depends on the year,
oh,
so maybe my memory is
Yeah.
not trustworthy.
I think that our monthly,
Should probably carry it at 36,000.
I like the 36,000.
I don't think you should pay them,
Mhm.
I think you should budget it.
I had 33.
That's what we have this year,
Okay, 36.
36. Auditor, he quoted us 9 to 10 or something. But I don't mind leaving that at 14.
Sounds good to me.
Forensic auditor, I think next year, well, I guess if we don't spend that this year, we'd wanna continue at least saying that we'd like to do that next year.
Just carry it over.
Let's take it down to 20, because we have spent approximately 4.
Mhm.
But again, if we could spend that in the next few months, we could make that 0 and save that money next year. Any thoughts behind that, Warren?
My guess is you're probably not gonna get it spent this year.
Okay. So you like 20?
Yeah. I mean,
I like it when we get Warren to say he likes it.
Mikey likes it.
All right,
What did you get for employee benefits? What did you put there?
we kept it at 14.5. Law enforcement. I think 6,000 is reasonable. Unless somebody says different.
No, it's good.
Court clerk. I don't know why that's 0. Who's the court clerk?
And then Nancy tells.
Right, we had that conversation, I don't know if we made that decision, but in theory, every time we have court, we have to pay a court clerk, right?
Yeah. I had $3,000 in there.
How many hours is court?
I don't know. It varies.
2, 3, 4, so let's say 2, and that happens once a month,
6 5.
I mean, once every other month.
Right.
So that's 12 hours a year, I don't think should be 3,000. I'd be fine with saying 1,000.
I think it's a good number.
1,000.
Sure.
Building inspector. I'd put 1,000. Public works. That could be. Are we gonna put, does snow removal fall under professional services?
That was gonna be one of the topics of discussion for the Public Works Committee. We have the motor fuel tax funds, or what do they call them? Being paid to the county. And then we have Public Works employee, that, and most of that goes, I think, for snow plowing. And then we have the Public Works who do it as a matter of their job.
This. This professional services category is specific to contractors. So we've got water, sewer, public works, and professional services. Well, I guess it's not. Well, the building inspector should be an employee, right?
The building inspector's an employee, right, I guess you're right.
So let's put a question mark next to that. But as far as hiring professional services contractors, we've got a public works line item, a water sewer line item, and a professional services all other. And things that I would think would fall under all of those, and I'm not sure which, would be snow removal, engineer, Brett Collier, water help, water attorneys, you know. And we have to decide which of those is gonna go into which. And some of those might fall under public works, professional services. And if that was the case, I'd probably put $5,000 there.
But hold on one second, Adam. Hold on a second.
Why would the building inspector be an employee, not a contractor?
Is he having the buildings? He or she,
Well, it's Sam right at the moment, you're
Yeah.
paying $25 an inspection. And I don't know how you're
I
paying
think it's 50.
I think it's 50.
it, 50, whatever.
Adam, if you jump ahead to 62504, there's a line item for snow removal for $2,000. It wouldn't necessarily have to be separate from the job of Public Works
All right,
during the winter time. But right under that,
yeah,
But
that's operations.
Dennis, wouldn't you stick some engineering costs in there for public work?
Yeah.
if the projects, this was always a topic of discussion. When we had a project like the sanitary sewer expansion, that project would have engineering and construction together as a cost.
Yeah, but for example, if we're in conflict with Living Wisdom and we need to hire a surveyor, that's gonna come under professional services,
Right.
and that could be Public Works. Professional services,
And the same thing with the cemetery?
so maybe we should say, under professional services, Public Works. I would say 5, 6, or 7,000. Any thoughts?
Well, let me interrupt you there. 62,703 cemetery expansion and drainage. We already have that in there for that. And it's blank. It's blank. 62,703.
Oh, 62.
Okay. So 5,000 then?
No, I think that's gonna be short.
There's the professional services, all other, I mean, is that like where the surveyor would fall under?
Certainly.
Right,
And again, Brett Collier,
Well, Brett should be under water and sewer.
Yeah, I think that is gone.
right, okay.
And off the top of my head, I would guess you'd spend
some sort of mediator
more than
would fall
5.
under this, the
Mediator,
IT
IT,
person,
uh,
I mean,
so I mean,
Make it.
$5,000 does not seem like enough.
for.
Well, there's you've got
all other
61105.
works.
For potentially both,
Okay,
No, water and sewer needs to be identified as water and sewer.
mhm,
And we have 61105-8 water and sewer.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so we have 3 different categories for professional services in regards to town operations. What do y'all want Public Works to say?
Do we have what was spent in 2023?
On,
Yeah.
Develop it.
I just don't, I
Not
don't,
here.
Make
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
make it
wait a minute.
$5,000.
2022, 2023 projected actual, I don't know when these numbers.
I've got my computer, might have it.
oh yeah.
I mean, I just don't know how to answer your question, Adam, with,
2023, 61105,
Well, I mean, you just called the surveyor now for Living Wisdom,
Public Works, we have 0 from
but
2023 and 2022 under that line.
The professional services, because it's new.
Correct.
Yeah, we created that.
I got you,
I like 5,000.
okay. What were you gonna say about the survey, Warren?
I'd stick them under public works and I'd stick $5,000 in.
Okay, and then water and sewer, maybe 8,000?
Fine.
I just make numbers up, y'all.
You're just making numbers up, I don't know, I don't know if that's fine.
Well, there's
I mean,
more.
I guess at some point we'll have to move.
My thought process is that in 8 months, we'll be sitting there and somebody will say, holy shit, we need to hire a consultant. And we'll be like, well, they're gonna consult us on water sewer, so we've got $8,000 there. And maybe that money won't get spent, or maybe it'll get spent on Brett Collier. It's like, it's kind of just putting money there for things that we know we kind of spend money.
Sure.
You're gonna spend
Adam.
probably every bit of that.
Yeah.
Because you
Adam.
spent on Brett, and we should change their names.
Adam,
Brett and Burke Hills,
The attorney.
the attorney the other day was $3,000.
Oh, no,
No,
It's
it's
about
like 17.
Oh, but
you mean the
The
total?
water,
that was the bill,
Water lawyer?
but there was a water lawyer bill earlier,
Yes, Dennis?
wasn't there?
just today, I was copied on an email from someone by the name of Curtis from Sunrise Engineering, who's subcontracted with the state of Colorado in reference to proof that our water system and other state municipality water systems have no lead or no lead water connections. And that is news as of today. I kind of felt this was gonna happen a while ago, but it's been put into action and we're on their list.
to get inspected, Dennis?
We're gonna have to show proof that we don't have
Yes,
lead or galvanized pipe, that it's all copper. It
Alright,
shouldn't be
so-
that difficult because of the newness of our system, but still it's gonna cost.
Okay, do you wanna say 12,000 instead of 8,000 on water and sewer professional services?
I think let's split it in the middle at 10.
Alright, 10,000. And then professional services, all other. I'd be like 5,000, 6,000. 6,000?
And then 5 is what I put in there. Do we have an IT section?
yes, there is IT, but it's a kind of a catch-all for, like, like software.
Yeah, it's more like,
It's
not for-
307.
Not for personnel, yeah.
Okay.
6,000, Dana? 6,000.
Sounds great. What, do you have the 2023 actuals? Does anyone have that on them? I just wanna know basically what we spent in 2023.
I have 2023 projected actions.
Okay, the
2020, here's 2022 actual.
the 2023, I'm sure I had that on.
Projected actual.
Dana, are you talking total?
Yeah, just like what did we spend in the year of 2023 of that?
This is in December, so it's already close.
Total expenses looked like 2.205375.
Okay.
Does anybody else have that number?
What are you looking at?
What line?
Which document are you looking at?
Total expenses for 23. 2,205,375.
That number can't be right. Total expenses for what line item?
I'm gonna go with the first one.
Okay.
Total expenses,
Yes.
The whole
Period.
thing? It
Yeah,
can't be,
whole enchilada.
it can't be right.
I hope it's wrong.
Well, you gotta be closer to 400,000 or 500,000.
Total okay, yeah. Total expenses.
Not there.
769,456. For what's projected actual?
That's- So this is on 12/5, so they're projecting through to the end of the year.
Okay.
So if you have 11. Yeah, but this is probably counting grant.
We won't get the actuals until we have the audit.
Gotcha. So Dennis, I've got the 2023 projected actual as 769,456 for expenses.
That sounds right.
How'd I end up with 2.2 million?
No,
You're incorporating grants.
and the grants didn't go through.
Okay,
Give us some of them things, Adam.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna give you the easy ones.
People with decent
If you don't trust me.
No, I trust you. I just don't want to drive you crazy.
Okay,
I think I'm up to like 6,000 of these parts.
of what?
These parts,
Up to 6,000?
yeah. Past few months.
We should go down to, Blue Star in Alamosa,
What's that?
for the, developmentally,
Oh, yeah.
they've got a work through thing.
Oh, yeah. I'll check that shit out.
I bet you there's tax money, $500 or
Oh,
something.
man. I like how you think. So anyway. We've gotten through. We're down to cell phone stipend, and we've decreased a few line items and increased one by a lot. As far as big picture goes.
You mean the water and sewer, or are you talking about a different one?
What line item did you just got here?
Yeah,
We increased employee wages from
Employee
115 to 160.
to 160.
I said 140, Dennis said 160, and we actually did math on that. I didn't make that number up.
Okay, well, you did math based off of like us giving Ariel salary and that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
All that stuff.
and people raises and
Here,
never let that.
treasurer, aid, code enforcement, part-time help, and then Dennis bumped it 20 grand.
Okay, great.
So cell phone stipend,
Who's using it right now besides, is Brett the only one using it?
Brent,
Brett.
Yeah,
God
his real name isn't Britain, so we could call him on his real name.
Gregory.
damn. I like Gregory.
It's like, yeah, I don't wanna belabor this one, but at last meeting that I missed, you had, well, up in the top of the package, there was employees should not be using their personal cell phones for town businesses. And later on in the meeting, there was a thing for a cell phone stuff.
Yeah, so, and it's not the last meeting, but I think maybe the one you missed, Warren, we talked about getting people work phones.
Yeah.
And using a cheap carrier to do that,
Alright.
and I still think we should try to do that,
So then,
which is $25 a month on my cheap carrier. And so for a year, it's what, $300?
so maybe we would change that to cell phone.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So like, that'd be 1,200 or something,
They don't all need it.
they don't own it. Ariel needs it,
Ariel. And the water operator, and I guess the code enforcement.
yeah,
4,
4, so that's $100 a month,
yeah.
so that's $1,200. So let's put 1,200,
alright,
and instead of site stipend, it should just be
So,
cell phones.
except for, yeah, no, never mind, no. No, we don't leave it alone.
unless we buy them this year, then there will also be the cost of actually giving them the phones.
Okay,
So I don't know if we wanna bump that up to, because we'll have to buy the phones.
what is that like, $20?
I sent it to Ariel, I found one for like $95,
To purchase it?
yeah.
So let's just put 1,500.
Okay.
The only thing you missed was we're changing cell phone stipend to cell phone. And we're gonna look into providing cell phones, and it would be $1,500.
Okay. And, ooh, this is bad, what you were looking for, I think.
Yeah.
All right, office supplies.
we jumped ahead of 61200 town memberships and donations.
Weird.
Town hall operations, is
Yeah,
that together?
It's like CML and, I don't know who else you go on to.
CRWA, Colorado Rural Waters Association, I think that's 500 a year.
Oh, these are things we have to pay for to be a member of.
yeah.
Okay, so my question is, this is town hall operations, has all of water and sewer gotten moved there, or are you keeping them separate?
Well, let's finish with the memberships and donations, yeah?
Well, right, but he's adding 500 from water and sewer for a membership, plus you got CML, which I think is like 350 or something.
Well, this is expense accounts and it's town memberships and donations and it's not separated to town hall or public works.
Right, nothing under 65,000 says,
I guess,
I think it's
says
combined.
anything about memberships.
So you make it 1,000?
23 has it at $1,087. So
Make it
1,100.
1,200. All right, town hall operations, office supplies. Where'd we get that 7,000?
Probably from, but now, probably from an actual.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, actual for 23 is $2,600 for office supplies.
We've been,
But
see
that
that.
probably,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's been a lot of purchases there.
I'd leave it at 7,000. Postage and shipping.
You need more money.
You mean, we just need more money, or
Postage and shipping,
you mean raise that number?
I believe you spent substantially more than that already this year.
more than $1,000.
Well,
Elections a
We
separate,
don't ship much. We do
No.
buy postage stamps to like for the, for
Yeah.
various things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been,
you don't think it's that much?
I don't think it's been exceeded. I'd have to go look. I'm really finding that it would be great to have a laptop with QuickBooks on it right now to be able to drill down in all these numbers. But
Yeah,
I don't
see
have
what
one.
we've done, right?
Oh, here,
you
what's
know.
it? You've got last.
Yeah, I've got it on here somewhere. I mean, from one of
What's
the,
last year?
last year was like $400 and some dollars, or 500.
That's all they spent?
For postage,
But,
yeah, $582.90.
and it's.
I got I think we made an error here. 61305 professional dues and memberships versus town memberships and donations.
great,
Maybe we're trying to get rid of that
yeah,
612.
so let's make that 0 or get rid of it,
The
We're-
6120,
yeah.
okay. I can do that.
61305, we're getting rid of?
No, we're gonna get rid of the one above it,
61200.
or at least make it 0,
So put 1,200 at 61305.
yeah. But, postage and shipping, 1,000. Printing and copying,
We are doing less of that now, since we moved to digital binders.
mhm.
And 23 was $3,116.
I mean,
We still use it a lot.
yeah, if anybody wants to change it from 4,500, otherwise I'd say keep it at
I'd say keep
4,500.
it, yeah.
I would say that whole line of amended budget will be redundant if we try to track down why each of those numbers is what it is, because we sat here for weeks and weeks and weeks and months and did that, or at least weeks and weeks. So that entire line of amended budget numbers is based on some version of reality,
Like,
like the
what
4,500.
version of reality?
The one where me and Ken and Dennis went through the profit and loss statements
Gotcha,
from 2023
Actual.
up until August
okay,
for 5 sessions.
Yeah.
And came up with an amended budget.
okay,
So things like that are, I think we could just carry over. Meeting food, 1,000.
yeah,
IT expense and website, we raised it already to 8,000. That does not include personnel or professional services.
so that would not be covered under, like, a cybersecurity person would not be that, they would be.
That would be professional services, but the subscription or software, it would include. And now that we have this list from Ariel, which included the Right Here app, which was like $1,000.
A year,
Yeah, Vonage phone, but that might be under,
You should go to telephone.
okay.
If there is-
Cemetery software, but that might be under cemetery. So I think that's most of what she threw in. So yeah, I mean, I think 8,000 is totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Even with that Right Here app. Code enforcement, I don't know why we lowered that to 15. Oh, because that's not personnel. That's gonna be like a badge, a ticket book, whatever, so.
Our code enforcement officer shouldn't wear a badge.
Okay, great, so 1,500,
Okay.
Maybe a vest with a,
yeah, right, a vest,
a-
some safety glasses,
right,
a gun.
probably a gun,
shotgun shells,
a big mean dog, food for a big mean dog.
yeah.
Town hall mileage, I think that's a real debatable line item.
What is that? What is that?
I mean, Irina used to make $6,000 a year off of mileage,
In driving?
yeah,
Like she would really?
$500 a month.
Oh, yeah, about $500 a month.
Yeah, she would.
Every meeting she drove to, Committee.
What's the one that you were?
tourism, COG,
Cog,
Yeah,
so she would
Planning
go to COG
commission.
meetings, she would go to a
okay,
lot of meetings.
and right now, Brent,
Valley View,
if Kim takes something to the bank,
Which I do.
Ariel goes to
lately.
town.
okay,
So 2,000 isn't enough, but we also need to crack down on who's driving and getting paid for it. And minimize it,
I mean, Brent
Gregory.
I have a question. On the, when we buy fuel or gasoline for our vehicles, do we pay the taxes? Or are we able to get reimbursed or something from that?
That is something that just came up, last week for the first time. I'd never thought of it myself. Eddie brought it to our attention that there's some sort of governmental, like, tax benefit, or you don't have to pay taxes. Anyway, we're looking into that. We're looking into
There's-
that.
You can get the form online because I gave it to Scott long before
Okay.
Scott left.
Right, well, we weren't on top of that until last week, and yes, we investigated, it's in the works.
Okay, good.
And so, yeah, we're paying mileage plus wages for every time somebody goes somewhere applicable. But I don't know if you're suggesting that instead of we paying mileage, we have a card that people take and put gas in their car?
No,
No, that's not how,
no,
because your mileage is paying for the wear and tear on the vehicle as well.
Then we have to put a number in for mileage for town hall, which I think we have a separate one for public works, and then we have to crack down on who's using it.
And with QuickBooks Online, with QuickBooks
It
Online.
looks like we're like, it looks like we're sitting.
So
you can get strip back from wage, right? Mileage? Yeah, on QuickBooks, there's a thing with, I forget how it works.
You don't get money back, you get reimbursed.
Yeah, you get reimbursed.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
Unless you're not reimbursed, then you can get money back from the IRS. Federal.
Oh,
But just,
But you have to keep track.
so.
but that's more like for a subcontractor.
How much of a can of worms do you want to open up?
Okay, Kim was speaking and I interrupted, I'm sorry, Kim.
Okay. Just to point out that QuickBooks Online will allow, or basically having our whole system online and dealing with the bank. If we get some sort of a reader, that you like a scanner, and I haven't looked into this at all, but the bankers actually mentioned it as a possibility. That will cut down on mileage, that will cut down on the monthly plus trips to the bank, which, you know, it's $40. Yeah, to do that.
I think that if we put a number in here, that we would have to get together as a committee or a board and say each position gets this many trips per month. And there shouldn't be taking more than, and that's how we would have to kind of moderate it. And that would be based on, you know, them telling us how many times you have to go to the bank every month.
Have to go this month.
Or and how many times you have to go to the water testing facility in Alamosa every month.
Right.
And if it's to get a part, you know, then I don't know, but I think it's being overused right now.
So it's under 500 for the current. Well, a monthly trip, just to give an idea, so it's $40 for the round trip to Saguache, to the bank.
To Saguache.
To Saguache, that's the closest bank.
Mhm.
So that's what it is, it's like, that would be once a month, 480 a year.
You get 1,000.
And that's not in, I get, is there mileage for public works? Yes. And water? Or is that gonna fall under public works?
Yeah, there's definitely a mileage probably.
Okay, so that public works mileage is gonna have to include water and sewer mileage. So you're saying one trip a month to the bank is 480,
No,
I'm sorry, a year.
Yeah.
And let's say Ariel has to go once a month to Alamosa, that's another 50 probably.
at least.
Yeah.
So it's more like, you know, $2,000.
Keep it at 2,000.
But I think my point is I think it's over 2,000 right now. So if we, whatever number we make, we have to create some sort of policy or practice that people abide by it.
Well, maybe let's put 2,000, like, and then collect the data. You know,
Sounds good.
like Kim's told us, like, get what you think you're doing, we'll get Ariel to input what she's doing. And then we can amend the number based on that.
Sounds great. And then since Warren has this like posting and advertising all the time now, I think 4,000 is probably accurate.
Not posting and advertising. Oh, you mean for all the things you're doing.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't do.
4,000?
Didn't we change, the way we were doing that, eliminating the most expensive?
The Valley Courier?
Right,
Yeah. Yeah, and that was like $2,000 or $3,000 right there.
right.
So we could.
It was very expensive.
You wanna put 2,000?
Sounds good to me.
So does, as far as the posting goes, does posting online not count?
No, you have to post with the weekly newspaper.
Office equipment and furnishings, does that include computers?
Equipment and furnishings.
I would say so.
Mhm.
Printers, computers. How much are we paying Govins?
$85 was
that last
yesterday's
week?
bill.
There's a
Friday morning.
contract and then there's a, like, there's a couple of different bills.
Right. Yeah.
That's a lease for a printer, right?
Yeah, they maintain the printer, and there's the associated costs if they actually come. And
Yeah. So let's say we bought a,
But the printer's up above.
That's right, printing and copying on 61303.
maybe that's why that number was so high.
So, yeah, I guess. Equipment and furnishings.
So are you cutting legal notices and advertising or leaving it the same?
We changed that to 2,000 because we won't be using Valley Courier like that again.
I would say office equipment and furnishing are more like chairs and,
Computers,
no, computers is a separate item.
where?
We don't have a separate item.
You've
I
got
think
IT expense,
it could fall in. Well, that's true. It could go there.
unless you wanna make it as equipment in there too, but.
Equipment to me would be a computer, a printer, a paper cutter.
Is there, but then where does office, isn't there office supplies?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's paper, scissors,
Yeah,
paper clips, staples, tape, markers.
again,
So going back to the 61304 subscription books, did you leave that blank, I think, on yours?
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
make it.
Well, I'm just, so that's a little confusing to the bookkeeper. When we have that and like IT, I tend to put like Adobe subscriptions.
Right.
I put that in IT expenses, I believe, rather than, anyway, it just creates, it's a too much of a gray area. I don't really know what that is. Subscription of books.
where's the code book?
Okay, the code books, is that, there's another good question, codification, miscellaneous town hall expense. Yeah, bookkeepers hate miscellaneous.
Yeah, no, this is.
Is that what it would be? We just have 400, that's in the next page, 61321 codification. I don't know anything about that. Is that books, code books?
No, that's gonna be just, Ariel's requesting Civic plus Unicode updates. So that would probably be the codification line item.
There is one for codification.
Yeah,
And that's $19 a page.
right.
Well,
I think that, are you there? Because that 400 bucks is
No, we're
not
still
enough.
on
let's stay with lines.
subscriptions and books.
Oh, we're back up there.
books would be like printing the new handbook?
No, that would be printing.
Yeah, that's the problem with a category like that, it's like, well, it could go in some other category.
So one time we had an attorney come and do a training and he provided us ethics books.
Mhm.
So it'd be like that. What's the name?
So-
I think lower that then.
Did 61 and 200 get wiped out?
Yeah,
So why don't we move can we get rid of subscriptions and books and kind of move that money to something else? If nobody knows what it's for?
Just make it a small number.
hey, you gotta put a little back pressure on there when you push.
On, for the mountain,
Yeah,
or it'll break?
it's pretty sturdy.
Pretty shoddily made.
I
So
thought maybe those were ornaments.
they
I
are.
hadn't really.
Subscriptions and books, anyone?
I'm saying
Let's just make it 0 and leave it.
Lower it down to 500 and not use it.
Fine, 500. And then legal notices, we changed to 2,000, office equipment and furnishings,
Make it $1,000.
that's not enough. If we buy somebody a computer, what's it coming out of?
I think it would come, I think IT and website is like stuff you're doing inside the computer, and equipment would be like the actual computer
I agree,
and whatnots.
Make it 2,000.
that's not enough. A chair and a computer is gonna be $2,000. No, yeah, it'd be like 1,300.
How do you buy it?
My computer actually only costs or like $350 or something like
Yeah.
that, surprisingly. And it's not set up yet, so we don't know if it works. but
Desktop or laptop?
it's a desktop,
Mhm.
so hopefully,
Electric typewriter.
Hey,
Yeah.
bring back the old days.
2400. Insurance and bonds, we've decided that is our.
Sursa,
Sursa,
10 grand.
Which was just 8,000 and some dollars
Right.
the other day.
10 sounds great. Town hall travel training, that's gonna be not mileage, but paying for a training session. Like CML and a hotel. And
so
so,
offsite as opposed to like a Zoom meeting,
right.
which I have been putting to.
I think that would also be under training,
So you think a Zoom meeting should be under there?
yes,
Hmm,
if it costs money,
well,
it's a training.
okay. I can't remember if I've been putting it there, where,
2,000. Gas, propane, that was based on reality, so 6,000. Costs $6,000 a year to heat this place?
The place is mad.
Well, it's-
You have multiple propane,
That one up there,
right,
the old town hall, this,
the 3 of them.
and is there propane at the museum?
and
Alright, well, that was based on bills, so.
No, that's electric heat. Right there.
10,400 in electricity. Was that based in real numbers?
Yes,
Do you wanna just keep it the same?
yes,
and I think that is like all the electricity. I think,
custodial. Trash,
I
recycling.
don't think that's accurate.
What, the electricity?
The electricity, utilities at the end of August last year were 3,800, and they jumped up to like 39,000 or 49,000.
But like-
Which was an adjustment, I know.
for pumps and stuff, like for all the electricity, because there's like 14 different accounts.
I know, I don't know. But I'm just,
I think I've been lumping them all so
okay,
far, with the idea that sometime we might.
Yes, the
be able-
pump house, the wells, 3 wells.
you got 3 wells, you got the 2 buildings, 3 buildings, 4 buildings. Okay, leave it.
Custodial trash recycling, so that's
includes
our
the
dumpsters.
Dumpsters,
We don't have a custodian.
we oughta,
Yeah.
but we added, Dennis added $20,000 to the employee wages, so we'd probably afford a custodian in there.
And you added, 10,
I did, that's $30,000.
yeah.
I might apply for that.
John, it's fine, it sounds good.
So that's just dumpsters, really.
Okay. And that number is
32.
pretty correct?
I think that included
Yeah.
having a dumpster this year that we're canceling,
We cancel it, yeah.
so next year might be less.
The 3-box dumpster?
I think that is what it was called, yeah, because it wasn't open,
Yeah.
but it's gonna open soon, the pre-box again.
They wanna open it in the spring, but we, I think we had a conversation and the board was of the opinion that we didn't want to pay for their dumpster anymore.
Okay, so then I think is it $100 a month or? For the one dumpster,
That sounds right,
let's just say 150, just in case, times 12. That's 1,800, I could put 1,800,
Good.
telephone, internet, so. That's gonna be. This is 4,500 divided by 12.
Just on 400.
$375. I don't know what all that includes. But I do know that Ariel's asking about Vonage.
Oh, for a new telephone system?
Yeah.
For the office staff, yeah, we need a new system, it's.
Was that separate from work, that's separate from work funds, right?
Yeah,
Like y'all want a new,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
so that's, and 5 lines is an annual of $3,000 a year. But that does not include internet, right?
And doesn't include,
I have no idea about this,
Doesn't
absolutely.
include what?
probably doesn't include juice.
Include use?
You're talking cell phones, these are cell phones?
No.
Oh,
1 exterior versus 5, both are included in this packet. I'll call everything.
yeah, because like this includes the internet, which is actually a substantial portion of it. Right now, we're not really paying. We're paying something for telephone, but I don't know why.
Phone is under the internet, or is it under, no, for,
I don't know. Those.
consolidated? The internet charge right now is high, because you're paying something to Cielo for a while.
I don't think she's there.
They get $6,000.
Sounds great. Marketing, web development. It's maybe 6,000.
Okay,
Marketing and web development?
No,
No,
telephone and internet, we made
Oh.
6,000.
Okay. I heard you say that and thought it was the other.
We used to do some marketing and tourism stuff, but I don't
Would that,
think we,
would that be like if we found a sister city?
sure,
We should put a couple of bucks in there.
all right. I like that. How much? 2?
Yeah. 200,000?
How much?
I don't know. 500 bucks?
1,000.
1,000. Sold.
Bank fees, deposit box, 240. County treasurer, tax collect fees, 500. Codification. Ariel did some math. And it looks like 570 to 950, so 1,000.
Yes. I was gonna say put a 1 in front of the 4.
Utilities,
are we doing 1,000 or 1,400?
1,000, she said up to 950, so. What is utilities?
that's just.
Water, sewer. Okay. Let's say 3,000. In case we get to raise those fees.
Yeah.
But we're on a
Municipal-
well. Town hall's on a well.
No,
No, that's.
Sewer.
It's sewer, and water for stuff, go ahead, I don't.
you got a water meter at the park. and maybe
Oh,
that's
okay, right.
something else, and you got sewerage here. And,
Sewer up there, right?
and up at water and sewer at
Yeah.
the Public Works.
Got you.
We did all that math. Municipal court. 850 times 6
Yeah,
for the judge.
the judge is $850 every other month.
Yeah,
right.
so I guess we'll just keep that at 4,800. Municipal court admin, I think 110. Mailings, we don't really do mailings for court, right? I mean, what is that?
I think if somebody has a court date, then you have to send them a letter or something.
Yeah, we should do away with that, if it's not a significant item.
Professional services. for the municipal level.
So you had it back in the, on the first page for the court.
The court clerk. Yeah. There's something wonky about that, I can't describe it, but.
I mean, that would be like if we had to pay Seth to
No, the court,
professional services.
well, you've got it, to me, you've got two things. One, it's either in, it should be in your court or it should be in the court clerk is a professional service, but it should be associated with the court.
I like
Yeah.
that, I like that,
I'll just say
I'm
that
gonna do that.
when we, okay, sounds great.
If you needed a professional witness for a case, I don't know what that would be.
So what did we put for court clerk?
Court is number
The number
Six
is-
one one zero five dash five.
$1,000.
Okay, so we're gonna take that and put it into professional services under municipal court.
Right, so the
1,000.
1,085.
Yeah, I'm gonna do away with the court clerk here and put it here under professional services. Yeah, that'll work too. So what was the amount? Oh, so it's why do I have 4,900 on our amended?
That's under elections,
Oh,
which we won't spend this year. Travel and meetings, doesn't need to be there under municipal court,
It could be blank.
okay? So elections,
Make them all 0.
0,
No. Yeah, but you have to have, what do you call
what,
what's the court clerk? You got 1,000.
1,000?
Well, we keep the line item, but we just put 0, right?
it? You have to pay $150, I believe it's either $150 or $15 an hour, I don't remember. For the people that do the court, no, do the election witness or whatever the hell we call it.
Right,
That's by law.
But we're not having an election next year.
Oh, you're saying because it's every other year?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's reasonable.
All right, 0, 0, 0, but keep all of them.
for travel and meetings, 0.
Well, everything under elections,
Oh,
Is 0.
elections, 0.
but now we're on the planning commission expense. Which I'm not aware of what that would be. Except for,
Unless don't they have to advertise if there's a special meeting or something or some hearing?
Wouldn't that be under
yeah, advertisements.
advertisements,
Yes,
legal notices and advertising?
So we'll just keep it at 0 until we find out otherwise.
As part of the planning commission, I don't know what we would need money for this time.
Okay. Professional, I'm sorry, museum expense. I'm not sure what we pay. And why,
Do we pay people, we don't pay people to staff it, do
no. We pay the utilities probably,
we? But isn't that under
Yeah.
utilities?
yeah. So I think we just left it at
Maybe it's like
500
for maintenance and
just in
stuff, like in case it needs a gutter fixed or some shit.
Sure, broken window, whatever.
Even 500.
Alright, 500. Event expense, we focused all that on 4th of July this year, right?
I think we did.
Mhm.
And that was a really nice day.
I think the town and the event people have done a nice job this year of working together, and
Mhm,
it would be nice to keep doing that.
mhm.
I'm all for $7,500.
Okay, 7,500. Neighbors helping neighbors, we never had enough money to do that donation. I would say 0 right now, but
What's the deal with neighbors helping neighbors?
they asked for a donation and we were all about it and committed to it, but never gave them any money, nor did we feel like we could afford it. And at this point in time, I would say any donation to neighbors helping neighbors, I think would be more appropriately spent on living wages.
Yeah. I mean, if any. Yeah,
We could keep it at 500.
I mean, if we don't give it to them now, then what's the point?
Okay, 0 for now.
Good for me.
Give neighbors something.
I hear you. So public works personnel. And that will not include Brent or will include Brent? It will
Yes.
include Brent.
Yeah.
Gregory.
It'll include Gregory. And Eddie
And Andrew, or is Andrew?
and that person, whoever is helping out.
Yeah,
So Eddie's getting underpaid, $16 an hour for 20 hours a week or something.
I definitely wanted to bring that up at the last board meeting.
Let's just pretend we paid him $20 for up to 30 hours, would be 2,400 a month. Times 12 would be 20, I'm just gonna say 29,000 for one person. We'll say public works, number 1, and that's not hierarchical, 29K. Public works, number 2, which might be somebody like a teenager or somebody like Andrew that could be paid up to 20 hours a week times even 18, 20, say 400 a week for somebody, depending on hours and wage. So 1,600 a month times 12 would be 19,000. Let's just say 20K for public works number 2, and then water ORC.
Yeah.
He's making how much right now?
22 an hour.
And working 30 something hours a week.
Yeah, is it 32 that he's, I don't know, I don't remember.
So I'm just gonna,
32 or 30, no, Ariel's 36.
let's pretend it was 32 hours at 28 would be 896. I'm just doing some math here. Times 4 would be,
What is it?
times 12, that would be 43 a year.
So 4, 5, 6. But we're like around 90 right now?
No, we're over 90.
We're over 90 right now?
No, that would be
92.
12,
Yeah.
92. You wanna just say 90 and
I think your number was good, Adam.
92?
Sure.
All right, 92.
Yeah, and that temporary person may or may not end up being that anyway.
Oh, yeah, and there's some temp worker.
Okay,
Originally.
great. Oh, so that would go to 0?
But maybe
Well-
maybe that's an unnecessary category, just.
What's that, Kim?
Well, the 62102, I mean, that's right now already temporary workers, so I'm just saying that could go away as a category. The number could be included somewhere else, and now I'm thinking, and is that snow removal, and we have that somewhere else too? So,
Yeah, I think the part-time, the Public Works temporary workers would be someone like what Andrew's doing right now, or. You know, somebody in the future who's gonna help Eddie like. Cut grass and water trees and collect slash and whatnot.
Mhm.
Well,
But
it could also be more than that. We could get a severe snowstorm, have to
Mhm.
bring somebody in.
that could be professional services. No, I'm just
Yeah,
looking at a way to consolidate
yeah,
the,
Yeah.
cause
The only benefit I see to it being separate is then in the future, we can look back and easily tell. This is how much we spent on our full-time employees and this is how much was spent on part-time employees. And if that data is useful. I'm not saying it is, I'm saying that's the only reason I can see it being relevant as a category.
So move Pete, Public Works number 2 to, down there, take the 20,000 and put it in there.
Sorry, I'm texting my plumber, I don't know what the other's saying.
I think maybe let's keep the category and go from 92 to 72,000 and then 20 down in temporary worker.
Great,
72,000 or 7,200 under.
72,000,
In employee wages,
Seven, instead of 92.
yeah,
and then we'll have
72.
temporary 20,000.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's great. Travel training offsite, what do we do for town hall travel training?
$1,000.
No, 2,000.
We did 2,000, let's, I would say 1,000 for this.
Yeah.
Mileage, let's say Brent has to go to Alamosa once a month. I mean, testing is not every month, right?
it is every month.
Is it?
Testing can
Yes.
be done, testing can be done by mail and you can save a lot of money.
You know, we tried that. We tried, not necessarily by mail, but we were piggybacking with Moffett. We were supposed to anyway, and a few of the private accounts there. It got mailed off, it got screwed up in the mail and everybody had to retest.
How much is a trip to Alamosa? 60, 70?
No, trip to Alamosa is costing you close to, way over $100.
It's like 60 miles, 120 miles,
You got 2 hours
Oh, wait, I know.
of somebody you're paying $20.
but just the mileage.
I know, but that's not how you look at the cost.
I know. Well, the other part's in his wage, so it's how we account for.
I understand how you account for it, I'm just saying what it's actually costing you every trip
Right,
is really,
That's 80 bucks.
okay, so I would say 1,200 for public works mileage. That's $100 a month,
okay,
and if they don't have to go, or if they can coordinate and get a part while they're dropping off testing.
Maybe part of that system needs to become, I'm not exactly sure I would implement it, but just like. Reminders to people, like, hey, this is how much is in this budget, this is how much, like. A monthly reminder, this is how much you spent,
Yeah,
like, just be conscientious of the fact that this is the budget for it.
uh-huh.
Mhm.
And right now, you know, people are like, oh, I have to go to Alamosa to drop off the water, and then they're going grocery shopping,
Oh, I would.
and then they're getting.
You know,
Well, no,
it's more than just Brent going down with his samples. It's, getting equipment or parts for the vehicles.
Yeah,
We've had to make a trip down there to pick up a pump that no one knew had been sent down to, I can't remember exactly where it was, and it got rebuilt. And we went down there to pick it up. So, you know, probably maybe as far as conditioning, using, you know, buying things online that can be sent to us.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Do you think it should stay at 1,200 or be different?
Well, it'd be nice to leave it at 2 and hope we don't have to spend that much.
Alright, 2,000. So public works facility, equipment and tools, that means wrenches, power washers, generators.
And we have $5,000 in there.
Yeah,
One of the things that I'd hoped to talk about was getting the hydraulics in the plow for the larger truck. In addition to the pickup. And I'm told that it's not gonna work, but I don't necessarily believe that. And by
that'll
doing
be-
that, not have to pay Saguache County the $5,000 to plow our streets.
That'll be under the next, that'll be under public works vehicles. I assume,
Well, it's just equipment and tools. Vehicles, I think, is meant to be
alright,
purchased.
so what do you want public works, equipment and tools to be?
I think
What's
we leave it,
this, what's the state of the rest of our equipment, like the mowers and everything, are all of those working pretty well?
I asked for an evaluation and I got a verbal that everything seems to be operating well, with the exception of the small backhoe. The hydraulic hoses need to be replaced.
Okay,
And that, by the way,
Maybe-
has a bucket that can be used for snow plowing as well. Snow removal, not
You like
plowing.
5,000?
What?
You like 5,000?
Well, I'd like to see a 2 in front of that 5, but I guess that's not gonna happen.
Well, make up a different number.
Let's leave it at that until, for now, and then we'll have our discussions in committee. Come back with something that if it changes, let you know.
Alright,
Okey dokey, supplies,
It's okay.
I'd leave it, right?
yeah, it seems a little bit vague, but, yeah.
I mean, that's glue, nails, screws, duct tape,
So that's not equipment and tools,
alright,
okay.
supplies, sandpaper, spray paint. WD-40,
Nails,
They've got a
nails,
candy jar down there too.
so 1,000,
Sure.
right?
facilities,
I don't think that's enough, but,
is that repair and maintenance?
I mean, I don't think 1,000 is enough on supplies, but
Oh.
maybe that's just my shop.
They've
No,
got, have you been down there lately? You should take a
No.
look. There's quite
They
a
got
bit of,
lot.
yeah,
Alright.
there's quite a bit.
1,000. Facilities, repairs and maintenance,
What facilities are they repairing, like fences?
I would have considered that every building the town has, including the museum,
So. Well,
windows,
would that,
door,
I mean, like
doorknob.
if Ed wants to do this carpet removal thing, that would be under that,
I think so.
so maybe it needs to be, there are, I mean, that's one project that. It needs to be done,
Mhm.
and then a new floor needs to be put down.
Where?
Facilities are 62304.
And where's the carpet gonna go?
Oh, the apartment upstairs, the carpet needs to be ripped out.
I've got
Does
a,
ever,
I've got a
does ever-
question.
does anybody disagree that facilities means all of our buildings?
Well, let me ask my question first. And maybe that'll help with your answer. When the fence was put around the pump house, was that done with a grant?
Half of it.
Half of it?
Half of it was done with a grant and half of it was out of pocket.
Okay, so,
That was $4 grand.
We have the
Yeah.
other two wells, 3 wells, I think, that are out in the open, have no fencing around them at all. Nothing to protect them. And maybe that's something for a 25, 26 year or 26-year budget. But eventually something's gonna have to be done there. So if that was done partially with a grant, do we want to put some numbers in there?
You're calling that facilities?
Yes. It wouldn't be a building.
But it wouldn't be a water and sewer expense?
Yes, and I'm looking under water and sewer, unless I'm missing it. I don't see anything that would allow for it in a line item anyway.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I would call that a facility. Warren?
Uh,
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. No. No. I see 65304 repairs and maintenance, but that it doesn't say anything about facilities.
Yeah, it'd be water lines and pumps.
Right.
We should bump it up.
I think we should bump it up.
I think we should, I'm gonna just throw out 5. But I think it should probably be more.
Let's go 7.
Okay.
We also started with expenses as opposed to revenue, so we're gonna get a really big number and then start plugging in revenues.
Okay.
And seeing where we have to make investments.
I figured you guys didn't get all the way through revenue
We
in a
didn't-
short amount of time.
Yeah.
We
We didn't even talk about it.
So
Okay,
62,304 is what?
7.
7,000. And then this next one is pretty much 3,500
Right, but didn't we count it up into 10,000?
utilities for public works.
You know, under town hall, is that what you're talking about?
What are you talking about, Warren?
There was a number up near the top of the page for $10,000.
Electricity,
Yeah,
This is
electric-
water and sewer for public works. So that should be,
but so that's not under utilities for just town hall water sewer?
No,
That 10 grand was professional services.
no,
We're looking at utilities.
electricity, 61,315
yeah, but this is water and
was
sewer.
all the electric
Yes,
bills
yes.
before.
Yeah,
So now we're double counting.
no, cause this is water and sewer.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the 10,000 included the water and sewer because it's all of the electric bills.
That's right. We didn't have it separated out.
Water and
So would
sewer,
then,
not electric, though, I'm lost.
We're talking about public works facility operations, and there's a line item that is the monthly water and sewer bill to public works. So that means that building, I think, is water and sewer,
Okay,
and that's how much a month?
$86,
Times 12?
yeah. $888.
And then that must account for the parks water or the bed watering.
Yeah, I'm agreeing, it's a little nebulous.
Oh, yeah, if it's water and sewer, it seems too high.
Yeah,
Unless,
yeah, I agree with you,
unless the water for the park is really outrageous and I don't know.
cause I just paid, so I know that 2,800 up above here, the 61322.
Yeah.
That is based on actual, like, for like the half a
harvest.
year or something.
Mhm.
Again, I'm not, like, it's a couple, it's like 3 different bills. And that was the total. So
So maybe we should, are you saying we should just get rid of this utilities?
I'm saying, I'd like to do some research on the numbers before like trying to say,
Alright,
So just leave it, I just don't wanna be double counting it.
Yeah.
That's all.
yeah,
so that's a note you're making?
yes.
Alright. And I'll put a question mark next to it.
Cause I know there's like 3 accounts. Does that make sense to you? Or
Yeah.
about the water sewer? Yeah, there's 3 accounts, and I just paid it, and I'm trying to think of what the span of time that covered.
Alright.
Cause I didn't know I was doing.
So then
Vehicles,
vehicle purchase, 0,
zero.
repairs,
Wait a minute, you went by that vehicle purchase pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Very clear.
You wanna? You wanna purchase legal?
I do.
I just assume we don't have money to purchase a vehicle.
are you disputing that?
Pardon me, I can't hear you guys.
Did you want to put something under vehicle purchase?
Not this year.
Repairs and maintenance? 3,000?
It's pretty thin. To repair the vehicle if it needs it. Do you have any sense of where the vehicles are at? I mean, like, in what state they are in?
You know, we
Yeah.
spent, we did pretty good earlier this spring on the small dump. And, the bigger truck seems to be running fine.
Okay,
As
What do
I
you think
said
about-
earlier, the backhoe needs hydraulic hoses. Outside of that, I think we're in pretty good shape. But again, we're gonna have a Public Works Committee meeting. And if they tell me different, I'll relay that back to you guys.
Yeah, just leave it.
all right, let's just do 3 then.
Fuel,
Right.
1,000. So this is R&M, road operation supplies, that's road base. And other stuff. What's up with that?
I talked to Eddie the other day and he said they were out of road base.
Mhm.
I don't believe him. I think those guys are addicted to it.
Mhm.
I know they stash piles all over the place.
I
But I-
was told by Jim Homer, there's none left.
There's none left.
That's what I was told by Homer talking with me the other day.
Okay, maybe it's true then. Well, there's
What is-
$3,000 here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a lot of road base.
So what are we gonna put that number at?
Let's leave it.
2,500?
Yeah.
I
It's,
think that's low, but all right. Signs,
we don't need any money for signs. There's signs all over that shop, stop signs, warning signs.
okay, 0,
yeah, I agree.
You know what,
with that.
leave it at 500 in case something odd comes up. I don't know what that would be. Maybe there'll be signage if we have to do something with that. We end up doing something with that, that app for the blind.
500 is,
Yeah, put 500.
alrighty. Repairs and maintenance services for roads. Do we what would that even be? Subbing something out, services?
That would be, yeah, I mean, that sounds also like where road base and whatnot would come from.
Well,
Mhm.
services, doesn't that imply an outside, like a mechanic or something? Tow
Okay.
truck, a tow truck?
So 0,
Wait, yeah,
You know, we had to have a vehicle towed down to Alamosa, I think it was, earlier in the year.
right. Put $1,000 in.
snow removal, 2,000,
Now, let me ask you, is that for the county?
No,
Where does that $2,000 go? Is that for us or a private contractor?
I
Last
think
year,
it's a private contractor.
Well, last year, yeah, okay, I talked to Dragon Mountain and they're out of that business.
Mhm.
And there's no one else, so that leads us, let's scratch that, I'd like to put nothing in there.
Would, okay, let's put nothing in there.
So that would not be a public works professional service or a professional service all other? Just saying,
You mean if we had an emergency and had to hire someone?
well, yeah, I don't know, I just, yeah, again,
That would be Public Works Professional Services. So let's make that 0.
Right,
I-
with a question. Because it would go along in my mind with 505, payment to Saguache County. If we were to take over completely the snow removal operation, what else would we need Saguache County for? I'd like to keep that money is what I'm getting at.
I think that's all screwed up, and I don't think that the town should be doing those roads. I don't know what, the one road, I just don't see it happening.
But I'm not understanding what you're saying, Warren.
If we take over plowing, and it's only one road, basically, it's across here, what's this, Galena, from Alder to Cottonwood, and Cottonwood to, Golden, is all we're paying them to plow. Right, because the rest of the road is county road, or are we paying for them to plow from the edge of town to where, the spillway road starts?
That's what I thought we were, and that's why I would like I said, I'd like to keep that money. Does anyone know more specifically where county starts? Is it at the kiosk? Is it
Yeah.
between the kiosks? Huh?
Well, the counties, technically, I'm not sure. I believe it's a county road through town, but I'm not positive of that. Maybe it's not. Okay, but it's a county road on either side of the township.
Let's put question mark next to snow removal and make it 0, and a question mark next to the HUFT payment to the county and keep it at 2,800.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
Okay,
I think you're paying them closer to 13,000.
And that's what I heard. And I think I heard that from Kim. No, not Kim, Kim
You're paying-
Martinez.
You're paying them the entire income for HUF.
which is what?
14 something?
the highway users.
$14,000.
Yeah,
But that's not just for plowing.
We get that, yeah.
We get that and you pay that. Right?
That's, I
As
think
far-
that's how the county would expect it to go.
That's how I remember the IGA.
Kim, have you ever seen the contract with the county?
No,
There's an IGA for that.
This actual says $614 paid in 2023,
How much?
$614
for the
Oh.
625.
for 62505. So we need more information about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if we can dig up that contract as well.
Yeah.
Is
Because
that
it-
something the clerk should have?
Yep,
Yeah. along with the fact that it's not just for the plowing, it's for the cumulative paving or chip sealing
Oh,
along the way.
you got more?
just a few.
You know, there's a whole formula for that, which I don't recall. They were supposed to chip seal every X number of years, and
So for today's purpose, what number, we've got question marks there and there,
just
leave it at what?
leave it as what they are. Until we know.
So snow removal,
$2,000,
Okay.
or zero.
Zero, and then the other one,
Question mark,
5,000,
And leave the Hopkins
5,000,
5,000 with a question mark,
perfect.
and go on.
Drainage, services. I don't know what that means.
Zero.
Zero. Streetlights. Zero.
No, you're paying for them.
For
Unless you're right
utility,
now here,
that's in the electric.
the electric,
What are,
Yeah,
you pay, it used to
oh, for street lighting?
Yeah.
Okay, not at like stoplights.
That's in the electric.
yeah.
Like
It
the
should
one
just be-
opposite the-
We should just get rid of it.
Yeah, get rid of it. Zero, get rid of it. Parks and right of ways, I'm leaving in 15 minutes.
I
Yeah.
am also leaving
I
in
am too.
15 minutes, but I will come to another one of these if
Yeah.
we don't finish. We're not going to.
No.
Dennis, I hope it's okay that I'm leaving in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's
All right.
definitely.
Everybody, yeah, I'm hungry.
Everybody's leaving.
That's
in
good.
15 minutes.
All right.
Parks and right of ways, operating supplies,
doesn't need it.
that's for
That would be
the rest of
for,
our public, the rest of our stuff that goes on for the parks happens through public works, right?
Yeah,
So we don't really,
Right.
unless we wanted to do something nice for the parks, which we're not nice people.
yeah, a lot of these.
That's a
I
good
wasn't
idea.
saying that.
So,
There's a lot of, I'm definitely getting rid of this miscellaneous category.
So are we gonna put zero there?
operating supplies,
zero.
Yeah.
It's all under public works.
Yeah,
Right,
like, right, I
equipment,
mean,
zero.
like all of these
Right.
accounts could be.
I mean, if we wanna take over I don't know, if
No,
we're taking
no.
over insurance for the stage and stuff.
no, repairs and maintenance supplies would also be like
Yeah,
water lines in the beds.
yeah. Yeah, it seems redundant.
Yeah,
It doesn't to me, but alright.
well, here's the only
It's
reason,
operating supplies for the parks?
No, repairs and maintenance supplies.
the only, having this, you're not gonna buy a screwdriver or anything that's gonna be used independently at the park. The only reason to have a separate park item is because you have, and now I'm gonna forget the name of the money, you get park money that you can only spend on parks.
Does that show?
Isn't
in our-
that through the lottery or something?
I
The
don't know,
lottery,
there's an income line item that can only be, that's restricted to the parks,
Conservation trust fund?
conservation trust.
there you go.
Okay,
So I'm just saying, if we needed to spend $3,000 on the irrigation system, I would consider that parks, repairs and maintenance,
Yes.
supplies.
Okay,
So what's your
So you
opinion
wanna
on
leave it?
operating supplies?
Gone,
Gone, great.
right. Repairs and maintenance, you're gonna leave the 2,000,
yes.
okay? Equipment, zero.
Oh, I got rid of operating supplies. Equipment,
Weed abatement.
so right, cause now a weed whacker is just under public works.
Yeah,
Okay,
zero.
alright,
Tree removal, $2,000, good.
wait. Oh, we have thing.
was there money? So no money for weed.
Equipment, zero.
No money for weed abatement. Because it's under the public works.
Okay, tree removal,
Tree removal, 2,000, sounds reasonable.
okay,
Tree replacement,
isn't, needs that
isn't
500.
big on trees, leave 500.
Miscellaneous gone, electrical gone, water gone. Cemetery. Green
Did
burial
we pay
dues,
for the mosquito repellent stuff?
yes,
Would that not be a reason for operating supplies?
there's a mosquito control
Is there?
under projects.
Okay, moving on.
So the cemetery,
Mhm.
Green burial dues, 350 carryover. Repairs and maintenance,
uh,
Well, we've already, it would like the LiDAR survey and stuff.
no,
that to me is a
that's
capital
expansion,
expense.
That's also expansion.
Okay,
It should be somewhere in the budget, maybe at the end, I don't know how you do it, you've got a projects thing, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
Well, this 703 is cemetery expansion and drainage.
mhm.
yeah, okay.
So what's an example of repairs and maintenance?
The fence,
The
the
fence,
gate,
the
the
gate.
road,
Road. So 3,000 or 5,000?
I mean, I think that we're gonna have some major stuff going on there in 2025, so maybe we stick with 5,000.
Okay, sounds great. Expansion and drainage. If you wanna move that to projects and put that at 0, I'm okay with that. Or we can keep it at what it is.
Couldn't we do that? Do we have to? We don't have to put it under a special projects list that would go with everything else, right? Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm suggesting either we leave it there and keep it at 5,000 or put it under projects.
Here's a reason for maybe leaving it in the cemetery category, is you've got dedicated cemetery funds.
Okay, leave her there.
And with $5,000?
What
I
I've
think-
got, what I've got,
We're gonna do this stuff way more.
I put 20,000 with a cost contingency reserve
Okay,
For cemetery expansion?
and drainage.
Okay,
we also have the
Could that come out of?
cemetery software.
No. No, the capital projects money is limited to water and sewer.
And I mean, it has an account, as you were pointing out.
Adam, I would think that software would go with the cemetery expansion,
Okay.
I didn't know.
lumped all together. It just seems to make sense.
All right, that's also gonna be really expensive. You would say it would or wouldn't?
It would all go together,
Okay, cause that was a $6,600 quote,
right?
so we'll just play with that in there for now.
Yes,
All right,
if that's okay with everyone else.
what?
Ariel wants software for the cemetery function and expansion.
Okay,
So for now, it's just in that expansion cost,
Of 20,000.
yeah.
okay,
Although ultimately, I think,
$6,000 for
You're gonna
software.
spend more than 20.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna spend more than 20 grand.
yeah,
Right, but you might be able to get
Get
some grants.
grants, yeah, okay. Projects,
let's stop.
yeah. That's a good project.
Good place to stop.
So we'll,
Can I get the first numbers from what I missed?
I don't think you missed much.
You didn't miss much of anything, but you started with payroll,
Okay,
they missed a few.
yeah. Oh, who's got it? Here's a line.
What you're looking for?
yeah.
When are we gonna do this again?
Um,
Uh,
soon,
When are we gonna
So-
do bill approval?
that's a morning thing, right?
Doesn't have to be.
Right,
Oh, so the next meeting is not till the 14th?
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
much later than normal. Yeah, you know, I
24.
don't really have anything right now or few, so, you know, next week.
so we could go between the 1st and the 4th, or between the 7th and the 11th?
what about, what say you, Kim, between the 7th and the 11th, or?
Sure.
For the
Yeah.
part 2 of what we just did?
Oh. That was kind of those.
I think he's talking about combining.
Not necessarily, no.
Due by the 15th of October? Like.
Yeah, let's do between the 1st and the 4th. What's today?
The 24th.
24th.
Is it Monday?
Tuesday.
Let's do Tuesday the 1st.
For what?
For part 2 of what we just did.
All right,
So Tuesday the 1st, 4 p.m.
Tuesday the 1st? Okay, okay.
And Ariel will have to
Posted.
Costa.
Tuesday the first at 4 p.m.
Mhm.
And also do bills, bring the bills, is that what
You
you?
wanna wait a couple days, Kate,
We can do that for next week.
Yeah. the following week?
Sure.
All right. Warren, what's your 7 items?
What, excuse me?
Your 7 items. You said you had 7 items.
I have 19, but that's separate. It's all of the other, I think the income lines some of the income lines needs to be looked at from what I had before, not necessarily what I have now. I haven't looked at that. But the HUB fund numbers didn't look right to me.
All right.
The hydrant fee numbers were off,
Yeah, that's.
which it looks like you corrected on this one.
I don't know, not necessarily, maybe. Yeah, I have yet to be able to tease out the hydrant. Acquired from the rest of the.
And let me just put it, there are more questions because I didn't have information than there are anything else. It's like, the utility numbers.
Yes.
I think we settled on most of that stuff.
Right,
Okay.
and those are things we can change at the public hearing, or at the public hearing before we adopt.
And I don't think they're probably in this budget anymore. I mean, I didn't look.
We can meet, and we can look at some of these, drill down into some of these numbers, I have no problem at all.
Kim, if you or Ariel need a hand finding that county contract, let me know. And if you do find it and don't need my help, could you get us a copy? Probably Warren as well.
Yes,
Yeah, it's the IGA with the thing, which happens to be, I think Seth was working on it recently. Just so you know.
Oh. Okay.
He was working on, Seth was working with the.
Night, Jim. Night, Warren.
Night, thank you.
Night, Dennis.
Thank Kim, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Tony's gonna walk me out.
Yeah.
Dennis, Seth was working with the county water and road and bridge over the IGA.
Thanks, Ariel.
This